You gotta love it, man. 2 days into the offseason, and we already have players that are, putting in their little 2 cents, even though they don't really have any audacity and they don't really have any, let's say, seniority to do so. This is Steel Sermon checking on in Tuesday morning with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links are posted in the box down below. Mitch Trubisky is a freaking clown. I mean, this guy comes on here and he's going to say that he wishes that he would have not signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2022, or he wishes that he had taken more time with it at the very least, somewhere along those lines. I don't know what his exact words were, but all I saw was the headline of the article. And now I'm sitting down here talking about this bum. So, Mitch fanboys, okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Before I rip into this guy, let me ask you a question. What do you see in this guy? What do you see in him? Because we're talking about a guy who's about to enter his 7th season in the league. And we're talking about a guy who still plays like a rookie. The guy makes some of the worst decisions I've ever seen. His throwing mechanics are awful. He has very piss poor reads on coverage. He can't read a defense to save his life. He has no idea when to take off with his legs. And he plays scared. Like Bill Cowher said earlier in the season. This guy is more concerned with not turning the ball over than he is with making a play. And he is 100% right. So, Mitch, if you don't want to be here, man, or if you wish you handled it differently, then why did you sign that contract to begin with? You were a free agent coming into 2022 because no one in their right mind would take you with the track record that you had. And I know that people are going to sit down here and go like, well, he took Matt Nagy's team to the playoffs in 2018 and 2020. Yeah, okay, let's not act like the Chicago Bears didn't have a top 5 defense when he was there as well, which was the real reason that the Bears made the playoffs those 2 seasons. And let's also not forget the Bears had plenty of talent on offense to be a top offensive team in the league. But no, because Mitch Trubisky is a sorry-ass loser, the Bears didn't win a single playoff game. And in 2020, they shouldn't even have made the playoffs because, number one, the 7th wild card, the 7th playoff spot is just stupid. Like, I hardly even like it. Has the 7th seed ever won a playoff game? Seriously, this is the 3rd season with that experiment. The 7th seed has yet to win a playoff game. We all know Seattle's going to get destroyed by San Francisco. We all know that the Dolphins are most likely going to lose to the Buffalo Bills. So the 7th seed is going to be 0-6 collectively by the end of this weekend as far as I'm concerned. So they shouldn't even have made the playoffs in 2020. The only reason they even got there is because Cliff Kingsbury's a choker and he finally got fired in Arizona. It's the only reason they even made the playoffs. And then 2018, they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card. Not because Cody Parkey doinked it, but because Mitch Trubisky couldn't lead the Bears down the field to close that game out. I sat down and watched that entire game. And people want to blame Cody Parkey for doinking it. The fact of the matter is, they should have never even been in that scenario if it wasn't for Mitch Trubisky. And this guy was a free agent because Buffalo didn't want him. Chicago now has their quarterback in Justin Fields. So when the Pittsburgh Steelers offered this guy 2 years, $15 million in March of last year, he took it. Okay? You took that. Art Rooney or Kevin Colbert, whoever it was, it's pretty sure it was Kevin Colbert, He sat down with you, looked at you in the eye, and said, okay, Mitch, here's your deal. We're going to give you 2 years to be a replacement guy, to be a fill-in guy, to be a gap and a bridge guy from when we finally find our quarterback. We're going to give you 2 years, and if all else fails, you're just going to be the backup. 2 years, $15 million. Take it or leave it. You took it. You took it. And if you wish that you had not signed that deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers to begin with, you would have thought of that immediately if you thought it was moving too quickly, as you said in that article. When you sat down, you signed your name on that dotted line, you knew that you were not the long-term answer at quarterback for us. So why are you coming out with this information now when you knew that you were not going to be here long-term, that you were just a fill-in guy, that you were just a placeholder? You knew. And now Kenny Pickett turned in what I think was a pretty solid rookie season, and we anticipate this guy to be the starting quarterback of the future of this franchise down the road. And this guy's going to come on here and cry about it. Well, Mitch, maybe instead of throwing the front office under the bus or throwing Art Rooney II under the bus, how about you take a look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, you know what? This team went 9-8 this season in a rebuild year. We probably shouldn't even have won 9 games. Oh, wait, I take that back. You're right. We shouldn't have won 9 games. We probably should have won 11 games. And why do I say that? Because you cost us 2 games this season. At least 2 games you've cost us this season. And you should have cost us week 1 against the Bengals. You cost us the Patriots game, and without a shadow of a doubt, you cost us the Ravens game in week 14, which in my opinion, that eliminated us from playoff contention. If you didn't throw those 3 ridiculously awful interceptions against the Baltimore Ravens in week 14, we probably could have won a bare minimum of 10 games and we could be getting ready to play the Buffalo Bills in the wild card. But no, because you're a sorry-ass quarterback, because you're a bum, you're one of the worst throwers of the football that I've ever seen, you are without a doubt a top 3 worst quarterback for the Steelers that I've ever seen in my life, in my fandom. Here we are sitting at 9-8, missing the playoffs, and now we're gonna move on without you. And who are you to say, like, coming on here acting like you have any seniority with the team? The only reason that you were even a captain of this team is because Mike Tomlin has such a hard-on for you for whatever reason, and because your fanboys just continue to just live and die by you and won't hold you accountable for anything. So who are you to complain about that offer that the Steelers gave you, and who are you to say that things move quickly when you knew what we were going through? We had a franchise quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback, be under center for us for 18 seasons, and we knew that this was going to be a tough transition for us, and we needed a fill-in guy. Which if you were here for, you took your money, and then you took a Greyhound bus the hell out of Pittsburgh, fine. We would never have to deal with you again. You have absolutely no seniority with this team at all. You have no room to complain about what, or to even say about what transpired back in March last year, because you knew what you were getting into. 2 years is not a long-term solution. 2 years, any player, whether they're a quarterback, a linebacker, a running back, a wide receiver, whatever, any NFL player knows 2 years is not a long-term solution. 2 years is a short rebuild in the NFL. And you were brought here as a bridge guy. And as far as I'm concerned, Mitch, you're irrelevant to this team. You really are. Because at the end of this season, regardless, we're moving on without you, whether the fanboys like it or not. We're moving on without you. We have our quarterback in Kenny Pickett. We have our franchise guy. And honestly, moving on from you makes a lot of sense from a financial standpoint as well. Because we cut you, we're going to save $10 million, and we're only looking at a cap hit of about $2 million. So cutting you would actually make perfect sense as far as a financial standpoint goes. Just imagine what we could do with that $10 million. We could bring in another defensive tackle. We can bring in a veteran left tackle. We can bring in a cornerback, a veteran cornerback. We could use some of that money to give a player, a not so exorbitant extension, like Larry Ogunjobi, for example. We don't need you, Mitch. You're irrelevant to this team. You have no right to come on there and give any thoughts about what you needed, about what you think happened back in March of last year when you knew what this franchise was going through. You're sitting up there acting like, frickin' Tom Brady or, Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or whoever. Oh, things just move too quickly. See, I want a quarterback who's tough, who's grimy, who's physical. And we have that guy in Kenny Pickett. You want to act like a leader? Start acting like one. You know what all three of those quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, you know what all three of them quarterbacks have in common, Mitch? They all have at least one playoff win. You've never even won a playoff game and you're sitting there and complaining. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here, Mitch. Don't let the door split you or don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Mitch, I will hold the door open for you. And I ain't even going to say get on down to Sheets and start scrubbing toilets. I'm going to say get in the frickin' landfill, as it shows in this thumbnail right here. Get out of here, Mitch. You ain't no true Pittsburgh Steeler. We didn't draft you back in 2017, which the only reason that you were even a second overall pick anyway is because the Bears are freaking idiots for taking you over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. They were out of their minds to do that, and they traded up to do that. That's the only reason anyone even knows who you are. You're not a true Pittsburgh Steeler. We didn't draft you. You're not even a Pittsburgh native, acting like you know this city at the back of your hands. You're not even a Pittsburgh native. You're from Mentor, Ohio, northern Cleveland. Why don't you go up to the Cleveland Browns and be a burden on their part? They're dealing with quarterback issues. We don't have much of a quarterback issue now because we have our guy. Go be a pest to your hometown. Just do yourself a favor, Mitch, and get out of Pittsburgh. If you think that, if you wish that you would never have signed with us, you're pretty much on your big clown feet right now. Get out of here. And that's all I gotta say. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Steel Sermon checking on out for the night. May God be with you all.